Do you know that there's a lot of things? There are a lot of things going on in Spain. Now, and now me share research. Kakrana who said no. What is brewing in Spain? No, very interesting. I was say, yeah, the bread tea for. On say World Cup na kasana FIFA na say ya chi.
Yes, inti. Akatanyema bebre so.
Akatanyema bebre so. But there's a need for me to bring it to light. Senebeya. Yebehu de ekoso e wo Spain. That be Florentino Perez and Enrique Riquelme ebe election for president of Real Madrid. Now at this point no on say Barcelona for year omodie no in Victor Font and also current president Laporta.
Yeah.
There were contentions over
fa course of my fa boss air no because I say mommy feedback basa na ma e bia we be okay
ma
we okay mama
okay ma pa
we okay
yen to yen come on so just like how Barcelona for election no call no so many things were going on over there na Nkrofon ase Real Madrid almost de edamunsu their own dynamics involved. Emma Enrique Riquelme Nancy Yabeti say or say on no better than Real Madrid president. Why ye arrangement say or kofa Ellen Haaland above from Manchester City. Wow. To Obiano, that was a very daring statement to make. Because Obiano say Ellen Haaland Obama Manchester City. Inti ye den Ekoba say wo a wo say wo be Real Madrid president no o shebo at this point say wo wini a o kofa Ellen Haaland to come and play for Real Madrid. People don't make such statements. It also means say ebia papa no why desperate kakra. But at this point with Florentino Perez the current status or your president or also call for re-election no, everybody knows that once Florentino Perez wins, it is going to be confirmed that Jose Mourinho will be the next manager of Real Madrid. And looking at Real Madrid for problems from this whole season, the consensus was that bringing Jose Mourinho, he is very familiar with the team. Only team no dada. Because yes, he has coached at Real Madrid before, but if he walks into that dressing room, there are certain egos he will instantly quell those egos and they will become non-disruptive in that Real Madrid dressing room. It's not enough for Adja to say no. Jose Mourinho would come and be the next coach for Real Madrid. Wabra, Florentino Perez, and that's what on my arrangements that are in fact pre-contract agreements. So it is left with just Florentino Perez to win the election tomorrow, and then it will be confirmed. Say, Jose Mourinho is the next coach for Real Madrid. Pakabi, just look at what is going on over there. Just look at what is going on over there. It's me, Papa Nini, Enrique Riquelme. On nobody was so oba, and in Haaland year 1, Rodri year 2. It just say, "Oh, 2 Man City 4 players new." Now, Gabi, one person would have asked, say, but is it ethical? So, you're president, but now, no, in your campaign promise, you are telling the whole world, say, players, you know, players for different clubs. Who they also work for I'm a Real Madrid. Because contractually, no, they are not free agents. For you to go and say, okay, for which reason I am allowed to talk to them. And I'm say, Man City for Akasa. In fact, the agent of Ellen Haaland, Mo Esreye, said this is a very laughable thing to say from Enrique Riquelme. Say, and your power now, what business do you have talking about Ellen Haaland and Rodri? So we need election for Maba. What kind of relationship have you built with them? What is it about those two players? You want to bring them into the team to come and change it. What is it about them? What special thing have you realized? And for which reason you want to use that as a campaign promise? Whether or not delegates never fall for that kind of tactics, no, is left to be seen. Because Gabi, everybody knows at this point, Real Madrid have spoken to Papa friend Jose Mourinho, and definitely, once Florentino Perez wins that election, there is no way Jose Mourinho does not become the next coach. And when we say Oko Real Madrid Kromona, Oko Kromona, Madrid Kromona, say is Jose Mourinho the right person to come and take this job at this time? Because you need Jose Mourinho, also one, not the attitude and then the ego, and so abba clashing. So at that point, what is the conversation? Entina Riquelme so Edina no L2. Say okay, now that he has spotted the controversies going on, then you also throw himself in the ring to suggest that he also has the leveraging power to bring 2 key players. Gabi, that is not the end. Only Masama Osaka can or say Oba, another person that he thinks he can bring into a Real Madrid fold, a Jurgen Klopp. But we also know that Jurgen Klopp Akasa. That at this point he wants to focus on the Red Bull Juma or yes here. So I mean, it will be quite difficult. Say after Enrique Riquelme Ebeji presidency, you know, he will go and bring somebody like Jurgen Klopp, somebody Real Madrid Juma. So at this point, no, Obi Abeji mienu Okoto aba on Sadana Echnana. You are considering whether you will believe Enrique Riquelme, and I say you will believe in Florentino Perez. Why you Jumana cha only Real Madrid in and out, through and through. Bakabi will be Samia. Florentino Perez is a more believable person than Enrique Riquelme. The Enrique Riquelme Eka Siciano is more of a bold direction. It takes more than just a few months to an election to decide. Say Ebia Oba kofa Jurgen Klopp, Oba kofa Rodri, Oba kofa Erling Haaland. Ka o shase ka sadie we ntem dia. Kebeji wedi. Say at least what kwa ye wadwuma. And our bar, who person would a Jumanisi will nice, who person Real Madrid president in our Kasan. For just a few weeks to election. Not power until our Kasan same way, dear Gabi. I honestly do not think, say, Enrique Riquelme, Casa or Kase. I don't think it's a believable story. Meaning, so what do you know, sad, dear? I don't know.
As a mother supporters, say, Aquana, Adumana, Untiminye. Because the okay nyina omu say nya feasible because a coach here o can ask me and where ya na the agent be kasa for say it is annoying some better say papa na kasa answer because there's no plan made say omo ba be feel Red Bull na impo sanka ya de ankan kasa un bi kurampo approach bi kurampo ba then you say so when oba what the approach bi amai what did TV so na kasa
and one say wakofa Real Madrid jersey or printing Haaland the go actually. What they put their sign say, oh, filing Haaland number. Me wa player in your player.
But Niama, Yadibubo Tokro. I will be to say Fiorentino Perez near Jumemu. Yeah. Now bet me, I win ahead of him. No,
yeah, don't attack that.
And you will, when we get to attack it. Went to me, oh, attack him, oh, attack ya. Baby, Uncle started here, yes, sir. Obabeka said, and now there was a Madrid. Elbow game and I say Spain double game. Now when any Madrid player even World Cup no. A home bisa na ho tackle 2 years in Madrid said that NJ we.
Almost don't gumi Spain player be away of can obetinya po
2 years in Madrid consistency was dressing room any good and let's say I want now point holes ah. Wait me there point holes. Now say we me there. Player to there.
Say anything.
Now only player to Fiorentino Perez.
And that is why say it is a very sad thing. Say he decided to adopt this approach. The fact say Erling Haaland himself Mpuno enka bibia say Bianca Real Madrid onya obebo enka Real Madrid enka say Haaland kran eka same way in the past say enka me Real Madrid and kamebo that will reinforce Sadia ya okoye o TV so. Eko printing Erling Haaland at Jesse. A printing the D, a printing number egu echire. And the chairman says so file Erling Haaland number. I don't think this works. In Tiachano, I strongly believe that Florentino Perez will win again. And once he wins, Jose Mourinho will come in, he will become the coach of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And Ejuma or person within Real Madrid hall and correct the dressing room. No, I think he'll be able to do that because I think Emu had too much. But Benfica for Nswa Kasa. Benfica for say once Florentino Perez wins that election, not Jose Mourinho ebeji Ejuma no ya. Real Madrid for betuya 15 million as a release clause to Benfica because no under contract. And Real Madrid for Nigeria say at least ono and omu hia no so bebo Ejuma ma omo. Enti sadia and omu betuya. But it's all dependent on how the election goes tomorrow, which I've already said, say, Florentino Perez will win.
And the formalities normal.
It will not be difficult. Gabi, you remember World Cup, no, so, but in 10 times, so say,
Antonio Ariola.
Yes, yes.
Liverpool for
Liverpool, yes. Yeah. And, me who news, no, I was a bit worried. Because, also in the past, in Liverpool, the way they appoint their coaches, no, and yeah, only very careful, kakra.
Okay.
They don't just get up and appoint a coach. And as someone appointed coach Numpuna, they look at specific characteristics. I will coach and say no mafanaba. So Bekaya, coaches like Rafa Benitez, right? Coaches like Brendan Rodgers, Kwamoko for Mubaye, Kenny Dalglish mo. They had a certain character, and they had something peculiar about them. Now only here, maybe look at Jurgen Klopp. Initially, I go for a Jurgen Klopp. No, maybe he was not that charismatic. Instantly over Liverpool, Ejumano. But there was a traitor who said no, because of the track record that he had built in the past. No, coach William on the timer, obit near ye baby. This time, Oma taking different approach. A Premier League proven manager in the person of Antonio Ariola. Share Ejuma on the Bournemouth. They went 16 to 17 games unbeaten and so the season way end the year. And the many things are Papa way it looks like he can offer Liverpool. But some coach say 2 years contract. Gabi, what does it signal? It signals say they suddenly trust, definite trust in him. Ebia udina be. O person obo Ejuma 1 year na utna na o share ne performance.
Okay.
To see whether he will perform or not. Answer na woman a long-term contract. Because Ushe Michael Carrick no contracts is up to 2028, 2 years. To me, you know, the signal was that yeah, the Michael Carrick but yeah, the Ejuma no. But yeah, person is telling me for 2 years. Because Man United bebo Champions League.
Yeah.
Obebo EFL, obebo Carabao, obebo FA Cup, obebo Premier League. These are different competitions for one season. Ye man sa time na ni ye gauging ni ahwe so be ye adwuma na oyi ni ye dia will give him a long-term contract. It doesn't look to me as if say Liverpool really wanted to appoint him
because of the number of years in Indiana.
Enya no kwa.
Okay.
After losing out on Xabi Alonso, Gabi, coach Ben Bium na boko akofa. Coach Ben Bium na boko akofa because I know for sure say nka Chelsea e delay kakra and one ko for Xabi Alonso. And Liverpool here Madrid so omo pam and slot. The next person would have brought is Xabi Alonso. No two ways about that.
So Thomas Jurgen Klopp oba where players obeto ye and in a Juma or ye with Sadio Mane, Mohamed Salah, Motamo, Firmino, Diogo Filimini ade. Kind of fast to see a team. Yeah. Fabian Mufifi Monka Krakra. Etiro was saying
balancing the team no.
Don't you think say Ejumana Antonio Ariola, or Bournemouth.
Yeah.
From last season, any this season, neighbor, number of players are key ones are when we efri.
Yeah.
Or try go back. SNDB by require first Mulusu Semenyo.
Yeah.
Emma is here junior groupie.
It's
from nowhere. Yeah. No ordinary room. Share Melos Kakes, right?
Yes. Ofri
call Liverpool.
Yeah.
What fix it? Utimisanka Antonio Ariola team Bournemouth nanka office anka emu beye hakura ma team na conform so na what try so betimi ameki bibi with let me say quality e from as compared to the Albanian war Liverpool any Liverpool we mu sika fen we for sika to buy. Don't you think say Ejuma na Jurgen Klopp ebe for your sister ni kakra kan enye nsusu dua na bi no mode ema Antonio Ariola na
Bagabi inti according to their own canon, the dynamics for Onono be different, for Areola be different. Because Liverpool, Obekaya last season, breaking the English transfer record for transfers twice in one season. At this point, we can all say for sure, say Liverpool have done their recruitment major. I don't see the number of players on Metoma Areola. I don't think it will be even more than 2.
Yeah, of course.
For recruitment has been done.
Because who were Alexander Isak from Vet? Yeah, of course.
Jeremy Frimpong now go for mobile. So right now, the only expectation is performance. You can't make excuses for player. The players know, which is why I always said, say, I didn't see the reason to sack Ancelotti. I know this isn't 1 year there. This isn't 1 year there, and we all know it. But for a manager who has won the Premier League before, Gabi, don't you think, say, irrespective of whatever the club has gone through, would the woman 1 season be more 1 year than
Liverpool for believe say, sir, trophy no G, league no G, was a Juma Jacking Club, Ejan Hono. And obedidi who are head and your Jumedia.
Until I was a good money time, I said last number 2 players, man. Uncle Yanen Chese Ebiana, he was the bad manager.
Okay.
Gabi, you know what happened to Liverpool? They lost Diogo Jota. Very cruel accident. Those were one of the many things that happened to Liverpool last season. In terms of managerial side, the Ebiana and Pinifon Kasa any didn't come up. We said no. The direction we want to go is different. Okay. But as an analyst, with Nigerian share dinner, because Liverpool, they would have been they wanted to be very meticulous about hiring a coach. It looks like the very convenient decision to make after say Omone and Slot Entinyanko agreement is to bring in Areola. As to whether he will succeed, a very tricky kakra. And I just like this graphic because they say no a person offer Alex Scott. I be come home Liverpool because on set like a manager like this, he will want to work with players or only Mudada. Because it's a new environment. Liverpool needs a Bournemouth. Liverpool dynamics and a Bournemouth a totally different.
Okay.
It is a whole bahona. You want to be very careful and see whether you can get players who can really help you to achieve what you want. Now, Gabi, quickly, Leandro Trossard also were on the radar of Atletico Madrid. Person who can free Arsenal. No more share a juma bit me about Bomo and the Robertson in Susa. They said no, they said we any deal now. Was sign Yama a Toriam Hotspur. Almost potentially be a budget number 2. Nashe Toriam Hotspur so any more story how they managed to survive this season. Rongomo and Susa by me for the nechi gidi. They want to see how they can get him. Just before I came on air, and I'm who say he got Thiago, Manchester United for the nechi. Mutua 70 million. For the guy, and I think Michael Carrick, he wants to get at least 1 or 2 more signings. About one next season, and say, "Igo Thiago, omutimi sili sadi, Manchester United futimi sili sadi where Gabi, they will become a very dangerous side next season, very dangerous. Because look at the numbers this season, close to about 20 goals for Brentford. Now we bring penalties, but to be a key man in that Brentford team and help them to play in. I don't want to qualify for Europe, but to help them to perform this season so well, no. Otimiko joining Man United, yeah, Charlie. Me only saw bit me abo adwuma o. Kabi yemfi on any World Cup on come because I can't just 5 days. Now 5 days, no. I think euphoria, no, at this point, no, gradually, warmeba. I think Black Stars and come be brave. NIAD because still now unfortunately I'm not too confident in the team. But Gabi, this particular World Cup a very interesting World Cup. Yes, it's the first expanded version, 48 teams the bebo. And out of that 48 teams, we are going to get about 102 matches. Matches be brave. But Gabi, there are a lot of new rules. I was saying
okay.
Because Usha rules now. There are a lot of teams that would have to do everything possible not to violate some of these rules. And it looks to me as if, say, if you are a team going to play this World Cup, you have to spend more time psyching your players not to commit anything that would violate these rules. because so one kasa will plan for games now when him say rules new ones about na also will follow some rules so the better will team be good standing there. Then it means that you have to psych your players and keep on repeating it to them. Now, say, what are these rules? Now, the first one, and they say, team being a throw in or be two throw now. There's a 5-second counter. It's 5 seconds. No sooner one throw ball now. It is a foul for the opposition. It is a foul. You be just out throw now opposition to start throw. Goal kicking so sir. Say keeper enya goal kicker was so busi manasa or pass it from the back. Now we're spending more than 5 seconds. You better corner kick. I'm an opponent na manabo. So you can imagine. Say you be a Ghana ye bebo. Now atizika kofa ball goal kick. Now us wasting more than 5 seconds. Now Panama for ya be nya corner kick. Panama for 2 corner kick ni ba ya go 1-0 against Ghana because you see atiziginya goal kick no 1 in 10 I'm a 5 seconds abesi atwam. So Gabi, you can imagine 5 seconds 1-2 ball now 1-2 cross 1 goal kick now corner kick against you. Now the next one is substitutions. Into substitute they have only 10 seconds to leave the park. Into him say baby original no untimi nya in term embassy nkwa you exit the pitch and allow the player who is coming on to come on. Na asem de na asem ko ne baby enti one then is player na oba no ontimi in backfield ne so for at least the next 1 minute and player na all film na was so film it will team number with 10 players. You can imagine off the field treatment in so sir ebia wenya foul and as a player be da form na ebia ne na ye ne ya na bibisa na you have the player needs to be treated off the pitch. And off the pitch, no, the player must be treated for 1 minute. But there are exceptions. If your goalkeeper say also that goal, so you'll be treated on the pitch.
Okay.
But off the field treatments must last for 1 minute. They must stay off the field. Player you're treating will also stay off the pitch for 1 minute. Answer no waba. Then players covering their mouths. Say, asema Presidency kofa bae. Eno ho rule na mo de bae.
Yeah.
It won't mean katawa no enye se wo ka asem ya kire wo opponent. Once you do that, you are red carded. Corners can be checked by the video assistant referee. Inti be a corner kick bi bae. And a referee no one hwe ni ye and oje against one team. Said there's a protest bi bem dia obetimi akwa hwe ne van so. Abesesa ne decision. Second yellow card so sir. Ebia
on ASR corner kicks. One say wo beba wo say players ni suso mumu ho.
Good.
Enti say wa boy wie no goal ni hye. Kra na say so mo check on ebia suso mu bia wo suso player bi mu. Ana say twe player na say player ne header eja na won to ho a they will review it. Say goal ni gina be gina. Say go no omo disalawa ombe disalawa enti no na serious say corner kick na omo kobo no kwa nemom waboko na their players ne beye in the 18-yard box no and also mo review
and which is very important because Gabi, we have seen how teams are misusing the corner kick to misbehave.
Okay,
maybe Obibeka said maybe that's not the right way to use, but may situating in a certain context because corner kick aba afi players akokata goalkeeper nani and nyema bebre enti I mean all of these rules are important but Gabi obi kase passer rules when you na end slow game ne down Engine was end slow game ne down
but what you say deliberate attempt say omo be yi you can say time waste na free mu so na be ya game no be flow and tell me say the tempo of game no mum no pese e cost room because say delayers never na ma game no boring
but don't you also think say if for example yes see there's a certain foul into was a player be second yellow card yes there be yanko checking with video assistant referee after referee ko gina wa o shot na anyway ya foul na fi do ko gina be 5 minutes
better 50-50 with this rules for media by if say team bia ye mamo line up na ye the way chire mu a one kasa wadwene mu no oba park no so wasaike won say wonya de beti mama wuti ma ye de ho akere no until you be attending to play the game obama game na flow until 50-50 it can go betima go there other way na say betima until 50-50 na you proper. Okay,
I think it will waste time. But answer na me wie no this was opta for omuka say omu ye simulation be to predict the obewini World Cup no enti omu ye for all the countries probability so obewini World Cup no na Spain at the first 52% to play quarter final 39% to play semi final 26% to win to go to the final and 16% as winner. Into who they should hear Gabi. Spain, France, England, Argentina, Portugal, Brazil, Germany, Netherlands. I think they didn't make a mistake over here.
So from up to Argentina, Argentina, France, and Spain, and they had the first three.
Yes, Spain, France, England. No, probability to reach the final. And win.
Me can win a hona boy.
Okay, win a hona na wo hwe.
Me win na no pe.
E no hwe.
Me hwe fan na me pe win na no pe. And do we win na dia. Na da me say Spain 16.1.
Yes.
Then no about be fa France 13. No about be fa 10.
England 11.
Oh, okay, England 11.
England 11.
And Argentina
about 10.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think they made a mistake.
Anya bad mumu dia.
Who's anya bad?
I just say Germany dia. Brazil
was 6. Only 6%.
Ghana, winning.
But the question is, looking at this, my question was that also for the GD say Argentina betinha a retain the title.
Ghana hover around 37 or side range. Ghana hover
to win.
Ghana hover around 37, 39. Oh baby. So obe perform.
Okay, so we are first 10.
We are first 10.
And here what 30 plus more.
Ghana for the new but the person me bisa question ni biem. I'm for the GD say Argentina betinha retain the title no.
Yeah.
But from what we are seeing over here, 10%. Gabi, do you think Argentina have what it takes to retain a title?
Oh, send your opt for analysis.
How about who saying?
You see, so 4 clubs in you see, you start here. How I best started? And they determine quite the first one. But
so Argentina for someone starting 2022, they lost their first game against Saudi Arabia.
Yes, of course.
So, on say, I didn't wait AFL, but games don't start here.
For your FIFA Club World Cup, or we become a at the supercomputer by normal factors in count on test and count grab it. If you're not just a cramp over now because Aquajana Senegal.
It is
Canada saying
Canada 34th. 0.2% to win the World Cup.
Oh, okay.
They be a cancer was a Ghana for your lower expectations, no? Because yes, from what we saw against Wales, no, team they bad. But World Cup, the Ghana answer the BGB, the Gabi
natural. So from the opta,
who
you opta the end for one casa countries me and South East will meet me again for mamma Judun some fan chassis and fame through her then na in the send Emra down here.
Nancy because said this one is not bad. It's because Omu follow me exact prediction.
Okay.
For the winning World Cup. I think Spain will be in the final.
Okay.
Personally, I think Spain will be in the final.
Okay.
France, no. Also after Cote d'Ivoire match, no. I'm not for baby Kasa, but honestly, Gabi, I don't think that friendly is anything I was here. Say, oh, France, no. Mebo Cote d'Ivoire basu more.
Okay.
Than say, Mebo France for support. No. Cote d'Ivoire went into the game and they had to do a certain job. It's a number for World Cup now. Give them confidence. For France, no, ABI experiment. Did they show me the team like I said no? ABI me 1, 2, 3 changes are ebeboa. It's friendly there. Result number a year amount for the
okay,
but it's not enough justification to say France or Munya Adie. England and ABI there is a question mark.
And to me so first 3.
No, maybe first 3 there. Spain is there.
Okay.
France is there. And Portugal is there.
Okay, me da say. My young friends yo na ya sa aba efie ye proper.